The mic on? That mic on? Good. Start.
Okay, good day, folks, and we'd like to say welcome again to this live coverage. We are here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice and Nelson Cllr. And this is Spoon TV, as we've been doing from the very start of this case, since this morning up to present. We are here to provide you all of the basic updates, all of the happenings with respect to the trial today involving Councillor Gloria Musa Scott, and of course the Republic of Liberia. And of course, we first of all want you to give us update on the audio quality. You can kindly let us know how uh, how good the sound is. We want you to give us feedback on the audio quality. Kindly let us know what the audio quality is. Is it sound good? We would love to get some feedback from you. I just move before moving into the details of what we want to do here. Okay, so we are getting feedback that the audio is not too good. So can you give us update? Is the audio quality okay? All right. Is it something we can work with? Kindly give us feedback on the audio quality as we try to provide the final updates in this case. Okay, so let me see if we can. Okay. Can you give us update on the audio quality? Is it okay? Is it something we can work with? All right. So, uh, some Carly says the audio is cleared now. Audio is trying. Mark down. Yes, we want you to give us updates. So, if this audio quality is good, then maybe we can move on to. Okay. So, from all indication, we have a very good audio. So again, I'd like to say a pleasant good evening to folks across Liberia, and welcome to this live coverage. Of course, we're here at the Temple of Justice. As you know, we've been here providing updates on this case, the Republic of Liberia versus Councillor Gloria Musa Scott, the former Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, former Justice Minister. And this is a landmark case, as we've said throughout this entire broadcast. And just before going out, just before cutting off the previous broadcast, we provided updates with respect to the defense lawyer or the defense counsel and the prosecution counsel's testimony, or their arguments, let's put it that way, the arguments provided by both sides of the art. And of course, this is a case, this is a juror trial. Of course, there are 15 jurors. And so, following the testimony or following the arguments provided by both the defense and the prosecution lawyers, the jurors then were advised, or they were charged by the judge to go and carry on their own deliberations, which they did. From all indications or from information we've received at this point, the jurors have concluded their deliberations. And so what is happening now is that the final ruling is expected to be handed down. Of course, what's going to be the ruling is what we are looking up for here. So at this point, as you see out here, Liberians, most of whom were standing around the corridors, just watching to see. So many of them have gone into the courtroom. The Judge Willie, at this point, we understand, is reading what the jurors have presented to him. And of course, a ruling is going to be presented right here at the grounds of the Temple of Justice. Now, there were speculations as to whether today a final ruling would be handed down. But what we received from some of the folks here was that indeed there was going to be a ruling today. So I see judges, I see some of the lawyers are already coming out. On the far right there is a vehicle from the Bureau of Corrections. That vehicle is the van that brought Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the two other members of the family. The vehicle or the van has made its way here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. So we are looking forward to seeing what happens right after here. But with the presence of the vehicles, it appears that Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the two other defendants will be escorted to this vehicle. We are yet to know what the ruling is. We are going to get more updates from inside of the courtroom and know exactly what's coming in there, what's coming out from the folks there in the courtroom. The jurors have done their deliberations as we are told. So it is expected now that a ruling should be handed down. Now, before getting at this point, there were so many people who were not certain as to whether there was going to be a final ruling today, based on the fact that this case had 18 witnesses from both sides, both the defendants, both from the defendant end. Okay, so there were 18 witnesses. Their testimonies needed to be evaluated or reviewed by the jurors. And following all of that, we saw that so there were speculations with all of those pieces of information. There were speculations as to whether a final ruling was going to be handed down today. So a lot of people thought that that process would have taken a long term, but then it happened that the jurors went out throughout the process and they were able to do their process today. But what we've gathered today is that information we're getting is that there was a guilty verdict. Let's hear from our judicial correspondent. We are getting information of a guilty verdict in the case of Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the Republic of Liberia. Aaron Talu is here. He has been following. He's Spoon TV judicial correspondent. Aaron, how are you? Welcome.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you.
You want to put the microphone closer?
Yes, Nelson, thank you. I can clearly tell you that the whole courtroom has been engulfed by tears. As you speak now, the whole courtroom, the defense, the prosecution, and even those who went there to witness the case, the courtroom is currently engulfed by tears.
When you say the courtroom is in tears, what's happening? How did the ruling go?
The ruling is it went against the defense.
It went against the defense.
Yes.
So does this mean that a guilty verdict was handed down on Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the two other defendants?
Yes, mind you, this is a jury trial, and
you want to speak into the mic, Aaron?
This is a jury trial. Like I said, this is a jury trial, and you have 11 of the jurors voting guilty, and one voted not guilty, and one abstained. So meaning she is guilty by virtue of the fact.
Okay, so let's go back into that process. 12 jurors went and
there were actually 15.
15 of the 12 jurors.
Yes.
3 of the jurors were reserved.
Yes.
And those 12 jurors went and made their own review of the case. Yes. Of the 12 jurors, you said what? 11 of the 12 jurors
11
voted guilty.
One voted not guilty.
One voted not guilty.
Yes.
So, meaning automatically there wasn't a third, which indicates that Councillor Gloria Musa Scott.
There is no third at all, Nelson. This is a unanimous guilty verdict, because looking at 11 and 1 is a unanimous guilty verdict. The courtroom is actually engulfed by tears.
Well, okay. So as it stands, we're looking to see what happens. From all indications, I see Liberia National Police officers are here.
Yes.
And they are waiting the arrival of Councillor Gloria Musa Scott.
Yes.
And the two other defendants. Now that a guilty verdict has been brought down, 3 other defendants.
Yes.
Now that a guilty verdict has been brought down on Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the 3 other defendants. Again, give us an idea of what the courtroom was. How did it look like when this verdict was brought down?
Today was actually the final argument. And the final verdict. So the courtrooms were earlier packed this morning with government officials, Senator DeLong, and even former Chief Justice Francis Cllr, the impeached former Associate Justice, Cabinet General were also there, and other Arena government officials were there, and the courtroom was actually jam-packed today.
Okay, so now with this ruling, Aaron, I want us to go into the ruling itself. now that a guilty verdict has been handed down on Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the three other defendants, how long? What is the jail term? What are the terms that the three defendants are supposed to be serving as per the verdict that was brought down on them today?
Mind you, Nelson, this is the murder case that we are talking about. This is a murder case that we are talking about.
Okay.
And one, it is a murder case. It could be a lifetime sentence, but a particular year was not pronounced by the judge.
Okay.
A particular year was not pronounced by the judge, but this is a murder case, and it could be a lifetime sentence. But again, the defendants still have an option. They can still take appeal to the Supreme Court of Liberia. But currently, the Supreme Court is closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Supreme Court of Liberia is closed.
And whenever such a case, whenever such a ruling happens, you have 15 days to take appeal to the Supreme Court of Liberia for Supreme Court review.
Okay. Yeah. So now the 15 days. When is the Supreme Court expected? When is the court expected to reopen? And the 15 days we're talking about, is it 15 working day or court days or what have you?
15 business days.
Business day.
Yeah. So
okay.
The Supreme Court is expected to open in March.
Okay.
So meaning you have to submit your appeal before March. Then when the Supreme Court open, they can look into that. Probably your case might be on the docket because this is a high-profile case. So we are talking about former Chief Justice.
Now, this being a high-profile case, Aaron. This being a high-profile case, Aaron. Now, I want us to go back to the crimes. They spoke of murder, criminal conspiracy,
yes,
and providing false alarms.
Yes.
Were the four defendants, were they all guilty of the three charges or the three crimes or what?
So it was a unanimous verdict. They were not judged separate, mind you. The four of them were the crime were together, right?
Okay.
They were charged together. So meaning they were not going to judge separately. If the three of them, along with the former Chief Justice, were charged together, and therefore there was a joint verdict today.
Okay. So folks, as you can see there, Liberians who trooped in here at the Temple of Justice to witness this case are coming out with some with wet eyes, indicating that they have been cries in the court. Now, did you see some level of disappointment, in the faces of folks who have turned out today to witness this case?
Nelson, again, it is not about disappointment, but it is about the law. The work of prosecution is not to win a case, but to make sure that the law prevails. So I think the prosecution has succeeded today. It's not a matter of who wins or who lost, but the issue is who actually should take the day, and that are happening today in favor of the defense.
Okay, so Aaron, we're going to come back to you, but folks, as you see there on the screen, Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the three defendants, the three other members of a family that are all parties to this case, are being escorted to the Bureau of Corrections van that you see right here at the grounds of the Temple of Justice. You see Councillor Gloria Musa Scott, former Chief Justice, former Justice Minister of the Republic of Liberia, is being escorted there in the van, and she's being heavily guarded by state security as she makes her way back to the South Beach, or the correction center here in Liberia. So this is a landmark case, folks. As you see, it's an emotional atmosphere also here, based on what I see from the faces of some of those who turned out here today to witness this case. It is an emotional scene, and of course the folks have gathered here. You can see disappointment in the faces of some people here, while Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the three other members of her family are being escorted in the van there belonging to the Bureau of Correction. She's being escorted back to the Correction Palace, otherwise known as South Beach. That's where Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the family, that's where they've been escorted. From all indications,
They bribed the people already. The people were induced. The fact that the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia will reduce himself to bribing, to sneaking into the juror, in the net, it speaks to the fact that the justice system needs reform.
Do you have pictures to authentify yourself?
Why the Solicitor General was removed from the proceeding? Why was the Solicitor General received from the proceeding? It is because he attempted criminalizing the process. It is because the Solicitor General decided to induce jurors. They criminalized the process. We didn't expect different results. We did not come here expecting different results. We are cognizant of the fact that the entire system was bribed. Yes. They bribed the entire system. I came to the court and knew the result because the fact that the Solicitor General made an attempt to incognitely visit the juror, it speaks to the fact that the entire process was compromised. So it's not a strange thing. It's not a strange thing.
So do you intend to take different action for him?
But we're going to the Supreme Court who allowed the type of kangaroo process. Nobody's going to allow a process that will characterize by bribery. Nobody's going to allow a process that will characterize by bribery. The Solicitor General said need to be debarred. The Bar Association, the fact that a solicitor, it tells you how criminal the regime was. Those people were bribed. Those people, the entire group were bribed. The entire group was bribed. This group, the entire group, let me tell you, the jurors were tampered with. The jurors were the fact that you saw it. It's not a strange.
Okay, so folks, we are still here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. We are here at the grounds of the Temple of Justice. We want to speak.
Yes, yeah, I am.
Okay, so we have been joined by the former Chief Justice, Councillor Francis Johnson Allison. Welcome to Spoon TV.
Thank you.
You were in the bench, you sat on the case, you listened to everything, and majority of the jurors came down with guilty verdict. What's your take?
Well, it tells me simply that the jurors were not interested in the facts of the case. My impression is that their minds were already made up as to what they were going to do. But this is not the end of it. We, in the next 5 days, we're going to file a motion for new trial. And I'm confident that this verdict will not stand before the Supreme Court.
You are former Chief Justice. What this means to you when it comes to dispensing of justice?
Well, it means that, dispensing of justice is not just the court's basis. You see the ordinary citizens who sat on the case, the jurors, and they heard all the inconsistencies in the case, and yet, in fact, they were not even taking notes. All the technical things that were being said, they were not concerned. They were not focused. So, but like I said, our consolation is that this verdict cannot stand before the Supreme Court, our highest court. They're complete rubbish. People were not even paying attention to the evidence. Apparently, their minds were already made up.
So you are still optimistic that when you go to the Supreme Court, you'll win the case?
I am very optimistic. You don't break down somebody for murder on the kind of evidence that the prosecution produced.
Your colleagues seem to be downhearted walking on our way to the subject.
But of course, nobody will be downhearted. If you were convicted of murder, you will not be downhearted.
Will you follow up to pursue her just part of the verdict?
If I follow her,
will you follow up to talk to her, that you are taking a appeal to the Supreme Court?
Oh yeah, not now. First, the procedure is that we have filed a motion for new trial. That's what we intend to do. And after that, of course, we'll announce appeal to the Supreme Court.
Okay, so we are across here.
Yes,
Let's talk to an in-law of Councillor Gloria Musa Scott. He came here as well to.
Happy it was that true because the woman called all over and they sit there all over from police station. No one tender about arrest you to have been having about security sound if anything happen the government going to be here with us at the former chief just say oh you working if you sound security.
One of the counsels, yes, one of the defense counsel here. Hello, sir. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay. So, you spoke with us earlier on, and you expressed optimism about your client winning this case today. A guilty verdict has been handed down. How does this make you feel, and what do you make of the process?
Well, it's like I don't know how many of you follow football game, but it's like football game. There's like just like first half. There's first half of the game. We have allowance. We have a lot of allowances under the law to use to ensure that our client is set free. So I just consider it like first half, like somebody is in the lead in the first half of the match.
Okay.
So I still remain optimistic.
Looking at the process, the Solicitor General at some point in time, according to information gathered, visited the jurors and all of that. Do you think that may have tempered with the ruling today?
Obviously, it has an implication. It does, because he was caught while attempting to get involved with the jurors. Who knows whether there were other people sent when there was no attention? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
You have been one person who do all of the research when it comes to try the case, and now you it seems to be that your effort has been wasted.
How does this make you feel?
No, I don't consider it a waste. I don't consider it a waste. It just I see it as a motivation to keep on pushing. Okay, like I indicated earlier, there are allowances under the law that are available to us.
Following this process, what next? What's the next plan of action?
Well, there are several things as I indicated. One, we could file a motion to set the verdict aside, because under the law, the judge, if the jurors rule contrary to law, the judge can set the verdict aside and rule consistent with law. So we could file a pre-trial motion to set the verdict aside, and several other things we have available to us.
Okay.
So it's not a win yet for anybody, for any party.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for talking to us.
Okay, so folks, we're still here. Of course, we're gonna keep talking with folks here. We will keep talking to some of the eyewitnesses, some of the very legal practitioners that have been involved with this case. We're gonna talk with them. We're gonna get their views, the views of Liberians who have come here as well to witness this case. And as you heard from Councilor Jeremiah Dugard, he's one of the defense lawyers in this case. He has told us that there are several other things that they are going to do. He says it's not a win for anyone yet, though the verdict has been handed down. He spoke of the process that has to do with going to the Supreme Court, and our judicial reporter Aaron Talu also mentioned earlier that there's a window period, 15 working days, and of course, once the Supreme Court is opened, they can make use of that and be able to take this case to another level. But as it stands, this is the update. The court today has handed down a guilty verdict in the case of Councilor Gloria Musa Scott and the Republic of Liberia, and it's all happening here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice, Republic of Liberia, a place where the statute of justice out there indicates that justice is blind, and indeed it sees absolutely no man. So, yeah, Aaron, you want to come in?
Yeah, so instead of the Supreme Court opening March, the October 10 court continues to January. It was announced by the Chief Justice on the 19th of December during the closure. So the Supreme Court will resume
legal activity again in January to continue the October term of court.
So it means that if legal activities will resume in January, today is the 21st of December. If we are considering the 15 working days or 15 business days, then it means somewhere around the 15th of January or before the 15th of January, the legal team of Councilor Gloria Musa Scott can now make use of that period to take whatever legal action they want to take in this particular case.
Yes, so you can still take advantage of the law at the lower court, at the criminal court. You can still take advantage of the law by asking for retrial. So this time around, you can ask for retrial and ask for bench trial instead of jury trial. The first one was a bench, was a jury trial against you. So you can still ask the judge for a bench trial, which of course they can grant you a particular permit.
Now, for the sake of our audience, let's go into this a bit. So, in the case of the jury trial, the jurors who are not legal practitioners, it is those people who are taking note of the pieces of evidence provided and making a decision from there, deciding as to whether one goes to jail or not, like in the case of Councilor Gloria Musa Scott today. So, in the case of a bench trial, drive us through that. What happens?
So the bench trial is fully presided over by the judge. The judge has a final say when it comes to the bench trial. But when it comes to the jury trial, the judge is just there as a referee, and but the juror has the final say.
Yeah.
So yeah. So since this is what happened, who knows, the defense team can put forth a petition asking the judge that we want a bench trial instead of jury trial, and he can grant it that.
Okay.
Then followed by that, if you're not still satisfied, you still proceed to the Supreme Court. That's why the law is there for. You still proceed to the Supreme Court. Mind you, this is a landmark case. This is a very big case. We are talking about somebody who has served this country at the level of Supreme Court and other parts, in other position in government. So you can still take provision of the law and take advantage of the law as well. As you speak, she will still do her legal citation and know exactly what the next action. This is a lawyer that we are talking about also.
Now, let me talk to you a bit, Chokon. When we spoke with Councilor Gloria Musa Scott, one of her legal persons, in person of Councilor Jeremiah Dubwe, earlier he had expressed optimism that his client would have won this case, and you could see that expression in his face that matched that very optimism that he expressed. But speaking to him just a while ago, what did you see as per his own expression and all of that?
Nothing aside from the legal counsel of Councilor Gloria Musa Scott. As you can see right in the back here, you see the ladies who have come to witness this case. Family members are grossly disappointed about the verdict being handed down today. The spokesperson of the family, Gloria Musa Scott family, said that the chief prosecutor visited the juror.
Certainly.
He expressed
Certainly.
disappointment that even the security that were there to guard the juror, they were removed. The securities were removed, and also he himself, was removed from the case. So this says a lot. The people are disappointed. Not only the legal counsel is disappointed by this decision, but like he said, there are many ways to also maybe go to the Supreme Court, or like our colleague Aaron Talu said, ask for retrial into this matter. But this is a very historic event today in the country.
In the whole case, Chokon, looking at the fact that this person involved, Councilor Gloria Musa Scott, is a big name in Liberia. Councilor Gloria Musa Scott is a big name in the judicial system, in the legal corridors of Liberia. Witnessing a case today, a case that we've been following for several months, since February, the death of Cllr Musu, the 22nd of February. Today is December 21. You're talking about over 9 months since this entire case. Okay, so 116 days. Today marks 116 days into this particular case. Now, initially, or from the onset of this broadcast, I stated that a lot of people would not have imagined that someone who served as the head of the judiciary branch of government would have would have been subjected to such a process. But again, this has turned out to be the case. Witnessing this entire thing played out, where Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and three other members of her family who have been accused being escorted to the Bureau of Correction vans and being taken to the Correction Palace, the South Beach, as you may call it. What does this bring to your mind? Does that in any way interpret the statue of justice that's posted just a few steps away from us, that is blind, that sees absolutely no one? Is that a clear indication that indeed the statue of justice is working, or do you have a contrary view to that?
Nelson, like I said earlier on, I'm not a lawyer, but lawyers usually say one of the sources of law is precedent. And this case definitely going to be a precedent case for cases to come. Maybe 15, 20, 30 years from now, this case will be used. But like you said, for the former Chief Justice who was head of this branch of government to have come here and get such a result, it tells you that, you know, the justice system, someone will say,
will you interpret it as the justice system being very active, working for everyone regardless of status, or do you have a contrary view, like some others are saying that from what happened today, their own analysis of it is that the justice system is compromised? Some are saying the case was politically motivated. Like the defense lawyer, one of the defense lawyers said the fact that the Solicitor General visited the jurors during the night time, those jurors who were supposed to be making decisions, means that the case was tampered with and the whole thing has turned out to be politically motivated. Where do you stand? Judging from the fact that Councillor Scott, a guilty verdict has been brought down on her today, does this mean that the justice system is working? What's your view on that?
No, see, you cannot clearly say the justice system is working or is not working or not, but this is a decision of the court, and the decision which is expected to be respected by both parties, that the former Chief Justice was brought here and this verdict was handed down today. It says a lot for our country, because many Liberians, especially judging from the onset of the case, where all of politicians were, you know, their names were called into this matter, like the CDC Secretary General Jefferson Koji was one point at the time.
Yeah, and the Valley Teller.
And the Valley Teller, they were accused of being the mastermind behind this whole thing, and also going forward to the second autopsy report that was submitted by this foreign pathologist, that there was a male DNA in the home. According to report, there was no male in the home. There were females everywhere in the home. So it says a lot that we have to wait to see what the defense team will do further.
So thanks a lot, Chokon. I think at this point we're about to wrap up this broadcast. But from all indications, folks, Councillor Gloria Musa Scott and the three other members of her family will be behind bars till their legal team can take the appropriate legal actions to seek redress. And like you listen to one of her lawyers, one of the defense lawyers, he said that they have several avenues, legal avenues, to explore to ensure that Councillor Gloria Musa Scott is set free. He has termed the guilty verdict here today as something that no party should celebrate about, because he said that it is not a win for any of the parties, given that there are still legal procedures that they can follow to ensure that Councillor Gloria Musa Scott is set free. He has said that he maintains that his client is not guilty, she's innocent, and that they are going to do everything to ensure that she is set free. But in the meantime, a guilty verdict was brought down today in this landmark case. Liberians across the world have been following, and of course, Councillor Gloria Musa Scott was escorted back to the Correction Palace or South Beach, where she and her family are going to be until further legal actions are taken. Again, I want to say thanks to all of you across the world who have been following this. We look forward now to seeing what happens. What's the next step? What's the next procedure? What's the next action from the legal team